Hello summoners and welcome back to another Pro Guides video. My name is Nathan Ng and today we'll be talking about our predictions for the 15 most broken champions on patch 12.3. One of the most important things in a constantly evolving game like League of Legends is to be able to adapt with the meta, and that's why we're here for you. If you want to know what's going to be OP before the patch even hits, then you'll be ready to hit the ground running without even having to test out and see if one buff or nerf really made that much of a difference. And if you don't know how to play against any of these OP picks or you're just a little bit rusty, this will give you the time and a few days to really brush up on them in some normals or on a smurf. Before we get started, I do really want to say that this list is not in any particular order. It's just a list of the champions that we think are going to be some of the strongest, most influential picks on this patch. We'll start things out in the top lane with Fiora. Fiora has already been a top tier performer overall, with the really good one tricks being able to hard carry games once they get the lead. This patch brings buffs to a lot of items that she already likes to build, so obviously she's going to be even better. Two of the biggest changes for her are the buffs to Mob Mortius and Death's Dance. Previously, if you wanted magic resistance on Fiora, you'd basically have to be pigeonholed into going Spirit Visage. This could feel pretty bad if you were fed and wanted an item that could give MR but was still offensive. Now, you get the best of both worlds. Whether you're trying to learn to abuse the broken champions on this list or how to deal with them when you end up on the wrong side of the matchup, if you really want to speed up the process, you should check out ProGuides.com. We have courses from all your favorite streamers and pros like CoreJJ, Afremu, and Xmithy to really help you understand how to play your role. And if you want a more personalized experience, we have coaches available 24/7, ready to help you guys become the best. Our coaches are top tier players that have spent years climbing the solo queue ladder to get where they are now, and they're ready to share everything that they've learned with you. And there's no better time than now to sign up, because we're running a pretty sweet deal. Just use the discount code WINTER when you check out for 20% off your sub. Now let's get back on topic, shall we? The next champion that we have for you is Senna. Don't be fooled by Senna being on the nerf list this patch. The champion is far from gone from the meta. ADC Senna is definitely not something that you want to be picking, but support Senna is still quite strong. Specifically, fasting Senna with a beefy lane partner like Tahm Kench taking the farm is absolutely busted. Try to find you a duo down there that likes to play lanes like that and you'll be raking in some free LP. I've been trying to look for a duo partner for life, so if anybody's single out there, please let me know. Skarner is a champion that's been on our sleeper picks and 3 champions to main list practically in forever. He's always been a super strong performer, regardless of the meta, but since most people have too big of an ego to not pick a flashier champion, he remains super underplayed. And that's a big mistake. I also think he's really boring, but you know what, you gotta do what you gotta do for some free LP. His ability to consistently make picks with his ultimate make him one of the easiest champions to execute. I mean, his ultimate quite literally stings. Just Chemtech, goes for flash, and ult a high priority carry, and then drag them to their doom. The adjustment that Chemtech is getting in this patch will make his clear speeds even quicker, so you have more time to look for those picks. Riot has been pretty good about handing out nerfs to champions that are completely dominating their role in the last few patches, for the most part. But one exception is Viktor. This guy has plot armor or something because he can't get nerfed. He's been a contender for the best mid laner in the game even before the preseason hit, and the only nerf that he got was to first strike. Viktor himself has remained entirely untouched, and with every other top tier mid laner getting nerfed one way or another, he's becoming the best in the class by default. But there are a lot of picks that can compete with Viktor when in the right hands. Ahri is definitely a lot stronger when you get a lead now. One of Ahri's biggest issues prior to this patch is that once her ultimate runs out, she can't really do anything. So even if you were super fed, you were likely only going to one-shot 1 or 2 opponents before you were out of gas. Now you'll be able to keep that momentum rolling in fights, with each takedown giving you a chance to reposition for another kill. This gives you some insane carrying potential in the mid to late game. Personally, I really like when Riot adds in little creative changes like this to elevate champions in ways other than just slapping on more damage or lower cooldowns. It can take an above average champion to a really strong spot, in a way that makes them more skill expressive rather than just being a blanket buff that everybody gets to benefit from. And that leads us to today's question of the day. What's another champion that is just one small buff away from becoming super strong, and what would you make that buff? Let us know your answers in the comments down below. I'm really looking forward to this one and your creativity. The next champion that we're going to be talking about is Veigar. We predicted his previous buffs would push him over the edge as a bot laner, and we were absolutely right. He shot up to over a 56% win rate in that role, with mid lane not being too far behind with a 54% win rate. It's kind of insane that he's not being nerfed on this patch, but hey, I personally love abusing him, so I'll reap in the rewards while I can. He doesn't have any losing bot lanes, and once you're level 6, any lane can become a kill lane, even if your support is an enchanter. His scaling is absolutely insane, and it's not just his mega high damage that makes him great. His cage is an incredibly strong area control spell for fighting in the jungle or near objectives. Riven is already one of the highest performing top laners in the game, and with this patch, all of her core items are being shifted to a more offensive focus. Now, really good Riven players will have even more carrying potential. Like Fiora, Riven is particularly happy to see Death Stance gain ability to absorb magic damage taken, as well as Maul Malmortius getting a buff that makes it a viable choice. On 12.2, the two best supports have been Senna and Janna, with Janna just having a slight edge due to how well she abuses Glacial Augment. But some of that power comes from a pretty broken bug. In case you didn't already know, Janna's Glacial Augment field lasts 10 seconds instead of the intended 4. That's a full 150% longer than anyone else's, and longer than I last in a team fight as an ADC, because I'm bad at positioning. What are you guys thinking of? With that being corrected on this patch, Senna edges out just a bit ahead of Janna. Janna is still pretty good, but Senna's insane scaling makes her the absolute best team fighting support in the game. The nerfs Kiana saw last patch did literally nothing to change how broken that champion is, so she's right up there with Viktor for the best mids to play if you want to climb this patch. She comes online super fast, really only needing Serrated Dirk and her ultimate to be able to one-shot squishy targets. One big advantage that Kiana has over the other assassins is her ability to work with her team. Most assassins are edgy and they just want to be lone wolves, but with Kiana you can also have an insane team fighting presence. If the enemy carry is out on their own, they're easy pickings. If they're stacked up with the rest of their team, then that just means that you can engage the fight with a massive 5-man ultimate, setting up your team to wipe them out. The next champion that we have for you is Jax. Jax has always been one of the strongest scaling champions in the game, but sometimes it feels like he just takes a little bit too long to come online. Thankfully, the item changes that we're seeing this patch will help him quite a bit. The Blade of the Ruined King buff in particular is going to be pretty nice for the Grandmaster at Arms. It seems that Riot forgot how bad they broke the meta last time they gave Blade the exact same buff. It allows Jax and other Titan top laners to spike hard and fast, and quickly take over the game while they get the lead. Another champion that we think is going to benefit from the Chem Tech change is Rammus. Rammus is already a really solid pick in the jungle, but he does have one glaring weakness. While he has super high pick potential, he takes a long time to clear camps. Chem Tech's changes patch really give him a quick clear, so you can be out and about, giving you more chances to make some game-winning picks. Diana's buffs last patch left her in an absolutely broken spot in the jungle, and since they aren't being reverted yet, she makes this list. In fact, she got that new shiny skin, so she's probably not going to be seeing a nerf anytime soon, and maybe that's why they buffed her. So you definitely want to get on this train ASAP. Her clear speed is absolutely insane again, and with little to no champions being able to do with her dueling and skirmishing strength, she's pretty hard to shut down. Just keep pathing to keep your farm up and take smart fights, and the free wins will practically fall into your lap. Taking a look now at the bot laners, the first marksman on this list that we have to talk about is Vayne. Vayne has been a top tier performer in solo queue for quite some time, with her being a hyper carry that's somehow strong at all stages of the game. That being said, she can struggle against a couple of other ADCs, with one of the popular counterpicks being Caitlyn. If it comes down to a 1v1 duel to the death, Vayne has her beat, but a good Caitlyn never lets it reach that point. She'll keep you pinned under tower, punishing for every CS that you go for, and chipping away at your tower at the same time. While the nerf Caitlyn is seeing this patch is a little bit more of a minor one, a nerf is a nerf, and it means more breathing room when you have to deal with it as Vayne. Everything I just said for Vayne can be applied to Jinx as well. Out of all the hyper carries in League, Jinx is probably the best for those late game pop-off carries where you can just go crazy and wipe the entire enemy team. Her 3-item spike is stronger than any other ADC in the game, but getting there can be a little bit rough when you have to deal with a lane bully. The Caitlyn nerf just helps her get there just a little bit more consistently when you end up in that tough matchup. Finishing off our list, we have Blitzcrank. He continues to be an insanely strong pick. The reason for that is simply due to the rest of the meta. Enchanters are the strongest, most popular picks at the moment, and Blitzcrank is their natural enemy, because he's popular at making picks. No matter what point in the game you're at, landing a hook on a squishy enchanter guarantees a free kill for your team. And that wraps up things for our predictions for the 15 most broken champions on patch 12.3, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you sub and you never miss out on content like this. Remember to let us know a champion that's just one buff away from being really OP down in the comments below. And one last thing, if you want to hang out with all of the people in the ProGuides community, please check out the Discord in the description box below. And if you want to hang out with me outside of ProGuides, please check out my stream at twitch.tv/Nathan_ing. It would mean a lot if you guys just wanted to come in and say hi. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.